Thank you very much. Some of you know that Cathy and I have been working this year to produce an album, a tribute album of Bob's music, recorded by a number of his friends, some of which are some of these songs you'll hear tonight. And it's been actually a terrific project to be able to do. Personally, it's been a very good thing for me. Cathy and I recorded a lot of Bob's stuff on our own and with him, of course, so for us to pick a song, which we were able to do, we decided to pick the song that Bob wrote called Bingham's Song. I didn't particularly, I thought it was a fairly generic title, really. I thought of all the lines in the song he could have picked for a title, Bingham's Song. Then Bob reminded me, he said, well, Dave, nowhere in the song do I actually mention him by name, It's not like, oh, my name is George Caleb Bingham and I'm a painter, extraordinaire or anything. So he said, I had to get his name in there somewhere. So I put it in the title. And basically, most of the verses describe some of Bingham's most famous paintings. And Cathy and I did a school program with Bob for over 22 years on Missouri cultural history, showing kids slides of the paintings of Bingham and Thomas Hart Benton and doing music. So we're quite familiar with these paintings. I'm sure the rest of you really aren't as well as we are, but we have stared at these paintings for a long time. And so they're of course, the fur traders descending the Missouri. That's the cover of River of the Big Canoes. That's two of the verses. And then also there's the watching the cargo, the two men standing there on an island. I find Bingham's paintings to be very quiet, even those paintings that seem boisterous or seem only to be exceptions to an otherwise quiet world. Also, lighters relieving the steamboat aground. That's actually in the White House collection. I don't imagine many of you here in this room have been invited to the White House recently. I know I haven't, and I'm not sure I would take the invitation. And then the first one mentioned, though, is one of a series of paintings, Jolly Flatboatman. And actually, Bingham considered his best painting to be the version that is in the St. Louis Art Museum, the Jolly Flatboatman at Port. And Bob had a great experience when we were visiting the museum one time, and he looked at that painting, and he told me, and I can verify this to be true, that if you go look at that painting, and you can't go look at a print, because a print won't do it, over to the lower left of the painting, there is a man sitting in the shadows with a straw hat on and his head down on his fist like this. And Bob told us, I looked at that guy, and the more I looked at him, the more he looked just like me. And I swear, if you all go to any time, you go to the museum and look at that painting, and you'll know what I mean. So this is Bingham's Song. This river when I was a child, and the old town of Franklin was new. I heard all the tales of the far western lands, the great shining mountains and the Indian bands at the knees of the people who knew, at the knees of the people who knew. As a young man I worked at the carpenter's trade, but a feeling inside of me grew. Wanted to learn how to paint and to draw, to capture the light in the faces I saw in this land that the river runs through, in this land that the river runs through. dances to fiddle and pan on a long summer slow afternoon. The lighters leave port for the steamboat aground, while out on the island inside of the town, the cargo is watched by the crew. The cargo is watched by the crew. Adrift on the river, not far from the shore, two men in their quiet canoe move out of the mist in the soft light of dawn. A grizzled old Frenchman and his young half-breed son headed down for the port of St. Louis. Headed down for the port of St. Louis. Bear cub is chained to the prow of the boat. The boy wears a shirt of bright blue. For a moment our eyes meet and then they are gone. But here in my mind that brief moment lives on, and I pass down that moment to you. And I pass down that moment to you. I've been a wanderer most of my life, but whatever it was I pursued was not in the East or in Europe beyond. It was something I found that the dark river spawned in the eyes of the people I drew. In the eyes of the people I drew. In the eyes of the